cleaning up downtown, to striping the parking downtown, to picking up limbs all over Fort Scott. Basically, anything that's needed, you're always just a phone call away. And we appreciate the passion and desire that you have to make Fort Scott the greatest place to live, work, and play.
Probably from the very beginning of my marriage, I have known that my husband has a mistress. And I could ask all I want you to get rid of her. And he would say, well, there's no one that comes before you, but he would not get rid of that mistress. And you've guessed it, it's this town. Craig Campbell thinks that there is no town that is as wonderful as his hometown. He thinks that there is nothing that his town can't do. I will not forget the time that he and I were in Kansas City with our Overland Park grandkids at Urban Air. And Craig looked around at that facility and said, Fort Scott could do this. I said, no, honey, Fort Scott could not do this. And he said, well, I guarantee you if Overland Park can do it, we can do it. Some of the things he gets himself into, quite frankly, I shake my head. I will not forget when he told me he was going to start mowing scubits. I said, what is scubits? And he told me, and I said, wait a minute, is that the fort? And he said, no, not the fort. I said, well, the downtown? Well, not exactly. I said, I don't even know what scubits is. Well, then he started mowing it and he said, well, I'm going to have to start edging at scubits. And I said, edging, what is that? And he told me, and I said, oh, well, then we need to start doing that at our house. And he said, well, no, probably not. So do I think everything he does makes a lot of sense? No, absolutely not. He can say no to none of you people. He says no to easily to me and his mother, but he says no to you people, not at all. I know you know that. So has he gotten himself into some crazy situations? Yes, he has. I will tell you though, when he tugs at my heart, it's when those people that he helps, he starts to see them as human beings, and what he does is not so much about making his town a place that he can be proud to have people drive through. It's about the people. And I can tell when that happens because he'll get a phone call and his voice gets gentle and he asks probing questions and he listens intently to answers. And I hear him say, I don't know right now what we're going to be able to do about that, but you and I are going to keep talking and we're going to figure it out. I love my husband all of the time, but he knocks me over when he gets like that. He doesn't just love the town. He loves the people in the town. And I find that very, very endearing. So does this man drive me bonkers? Yes, he drives me bonkers. But am I crazy about him, and am I very grateful for this honor that you're giving him? Yes, I truly am.
For those of you who might not know, I'm Craig's proud mother. And as a little kid, Craig always was passionate about helping others, whether it be the neighbors or his grandparents or even sometimes his mom and dad. But he always had that passion to help and do things for others. And as he's grown into a man, that passion has grown with him. We're very proud of him, and even though he's retired, he really is doing what he loves to do. And by the way, I do have a pile of limbs in my backyard.
Hi, I'm John Hill, and I've known Craig Campbell for many, many years. We grew up together in Fort Scott, and I can't think of anyone more deserving of this award than Craig. Craig's a tireless volunteer, he's compassionate, he's kind, and I joke with him often that he needs to go back to work so he can take a break from volunteering here in Fort Scott. And let's not forget his wife, Jane, who is the queen behind the king in volunteerism in Fort Scott. We appreciate both of their efforts, and I can't think of a more deserving person than Craig Campbell. So Craig, congratulations from Carol and I, and we wish you the best.
I've known Craig for a long time, and ever since knowing him, he's always been friendly, always been easy to get along with, and always a hard worker. And he is just a gem for Fort Scott, and I really enjoy working with him on some of our clubs that we're on and some of the projects that we work together. Craig, you deserve this award, and I appreciate everything you've done for the city of Fort Scott and look forward to the future of working with you. Thank you.
Good evening, Chamber friends. I'm honored to have the opportunity to congratulate Craig Campbell as he receives the Chamber Keystone Award this evening. He's a person who believes in God, family, and community and lives his beliefs boldly each day. Craig spends numerous hours volunteering and serving the church and his community. He finds no fault in anyone, always seeking the best. Sometimes I worry that's the only reason we have remained friends. There's no one in the community that deserves this award more than you. Thank you, my friend, and I'm glad to know that God will bless you 100 times 100.
A couple years ago, when I became mayor and the first Chamber Awards, Lindsay Madison came to me and said, hey, you need to pick a mayor's award. And it took me all about 2 seconds to think about Craig Campbell. The time, the effort he puts in is just amazing. And not only that, his attitude. Craig reminds me of a line from the movie As Good as It Gets when Jack Nicholson says, Craig makes me want to be a better person. And that's probably the best compliment that I can think of for a person, and Craig's that person that makes me want to be a better person.
Congratulations, Craig, on your award. It sure didn't take long for you to figure out how to fill your time once you went into retirement, and this community is much better off because of that. And you gave us a few more hours than I think you even gave Mercy, so thank you.
If you ask me how to define a Craig Campbell, it's just impossible. You know, he's you might say he's like the ever-ready bunny. He's always there. He will always help. I was watching a small group of some Kiwanians and some other volunteers. Just yesterday morning, we needed someone to hold the limbs on this project. And I called Craig, and he said, "I'll be there in 10 minutes." And then I have a picture in my phone now showing me following, trying to stay up with Craig Campbell with his load of trees. It's just such a treat to have local kids grow up and do such neat stuff for our community. I've lived in several different communities over my lifespan, but nothing quite like the camaraderie and the feeling of belonging that people like Craig Campbell give us. I can't think of a more deserving person for recognition than Craig.
When I think of Craig Campbell, I think of the true definition of a servant leader. He displays his heart and his love for this community and for the people in this community in all that he does. And what he does is not for glory or recognition. It comes from a true desire to leave a mark and make things better. And that is what Craig does on a daily basis. They say that a rising tide lifts all boats, and that is Craig. This community is better because Craig is a part of it. The people of this community are better because Craig cares about them. And I cannot think of anyone more deserving of this recognition. So congratulations, Craig, and thank you for all that you do.